The break didn't destroy you. It revealed what was underneath. You remember the moment everything started cracking. Confidence disappeared, plans stopped making sense. The person you trusted became a stranger, and suddenly you had nowhere to hide. You questioned your strength, questioned your choices, questioned how long you could keep going. But beneath the confusion, something remained, not motivation, not confidence, just refusal, a quiet refusal to stay there. So you started small, one morning, one workout, one completed task, and another. You weren't rebuilding your entire life, you were rebuilding your ability to move. That was enough, because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates distance. Distance from the person you were becoming during the collapse. Broke then build, fall then return. Rise, you don't need to feel ready. Move, start with whatever still works. Again, the break was real, so is the rebuild. You learned that rebuilding isn't dramatic. Most of it is boring, fixing routines, fixing sleep, fixing focus, fixing the habits that quietly created damage. You stopped searching for one massive solution, started respecting small corrections. One bad habit removed, one good habit repeated, one promise kept, one distraction refused. Slowly, your foundation became stronger. Not because the past changed, because your response did. You couldn't control what broke you, but you could control what came afterward. So you stopped looking backward, stopped asking why it happened, started asking what could be built from it. Pain became material, failure became instruction. The empty space became room for something new, and every day you added another piece. Don't rebuild everything, rebuild today. One choice, one action. Then repeat. Grow, then build. Fall, then return. Rise. Take the pieces and make them useful. Move, turn the damage into foundation. Again, you don't need the old version back. You don't need the old version back. Build a better one. Build a better one. Now you look back without wanting to return. You understand what that version couldn't see. Some endings were necessary, some losses created space, some failures forced honesty. You became more careful with what you build, more patient with how long it takes. You stop confusing speed with progress. A strong foundation doesn't appear overnight. It is tested, adjusted, reinforced, repeated, and now when something shakes, you don't immediately collapse. You inspect the structure, find the weak point, strengthen it, continue. That's what changed. You don't expect life to stop hitting you. You expect yourself to recover faster. You don't need a perfect foundation. You need one that can withstand pressure. And you've already proven something important. You can break, you can rebuild, and you can come back with more structure than before. Look at what's left. Still breathing. Good. Build. Again. Grow, then build. Fall, then return. Let every crack show you where to reinforce. Let every setback become another layer. You are not rebuilding what was lost. You're building what comes next. No return, no excuses. Build again. The break changed you, but the rebuild decided who you become. You wanted results. You got resistance. Good. Now make the resistance useful. You train hard and nothing seemed to change. You gave your time and watched the clock remain. Another failed attempt, another plan that collapsed, another goal that stayed out of reach. Frustration started living in your head every second. motivation, but frustration was telling you something you were expecting the reward too early. So you stopped demanding instant confirmation. Stop checking whether the work was paying off. You focused on execution, cleaner movement, sharper decisions, better preparation, less emotion, more control. The frustration didn't disappear, it changed purpose. It became pressure you could direct. Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt, lock in. Don't waste anger on what already happened. Move, turn disappointment into another adjustment. Again. If it isn't working, don't complain, study it. Yeah. You stopped asking, why is this happening? Started asking, what am I missing? Maybe the timing was wrong, maybe the method was weak, maybe your expectations were unrealistic, maybe you simply needed more repetitions. That question gave you something anger couldn't direction. You began tracking what actually mattered, what improved, what stalled, what needed change in the process. Became colder, not emotionless, precise. You didn't need to feel inspired, you needed information. Failure provided it, plateaus provided it, bad sessions provided it. Every mistake became another measurement, and slowly your frustration became useful because you weren't fighting the result anymore. You were improving the process that creates it. Don't react, observe, don't complain, correct. Then go again. Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt, lock in. Every setback contains information. Move, every mistake can sharpen your method. Again. Don't let frustration control your actions. Control it. Now you don't fear slow progress. You understand that mastery is often invisible. The outside sees repetition. You see refinement, a slightly better decision, a cleaner execution, a stronger response, a smaller mistake. Those details compound. You became harder to frustrate, not because everything works, because you stopped expecting everything to work. You can fare without losing direction. You can lose without losing composure. You can wait without becoming passive. You learn that patience isn't doing nothing, it's continuing without demanding immediate reward. And that mindset changed the relationship with difficulty. Resistance no longer means stop. Sometimes it means adjust. Sometimes it means learn. Sometimes it means keep going. You don't need every obstacle removed. You need to become better at reading them. Frustrated? Good. Don't react. Think. Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt, lock in. Turn every setback into another lesson. Move, turn every mistake into better execution. Again. Don't let disappointment become your identity. Make it information. Make it progress. Make it fuel. Frustration didn't make you stronger. Learning how to use it did.
Nobody is asking you to become perfect, only to stop betraying the standard you chose.
You know the difference between tired and careless, between needing recovery and searching for an excuse. You felt both, you've used both, but something changed. You started watching your own decisions, not judging them, measuring them. Did you keep the promise? Did you finish the work? Did you choose what mattered over what felt easier? Those questions became uncomfortable because nobody else could answer them. You could blame the schedule, blame the mood, blame the circumstances, but you knew the truth. Your standard was yours to protect, so you stopped demanding perfection. You demanded honesty. If you failed, admit. If you needed rest, take it. If you were avoiding work, face it. No excuses, no performance, just accountability. Hold the standard. Guard the line. Stand when nobody is watching. Move when nobody will know if you cut the corner. Again, the standard means nothing. It disappeared. Difficult. get difficult. You started understanding that discipline isn't intensity, it's reliability. Anyone can have one perfect day, one perfect workout, one perfect week. But can you repeat the fundamentals when they're boring? Can you stay precise when you're tired? Can you keep your word when nobody checks? That's where identity forms, not during the highlight, during the repetition. You stopped trying to impress yourself, started trying to trust yourself, and trust came slowly. One promise kept, then another, until your own words started carrying weight. You didn't need external pressure anymore, your standard was already waiting. You knew what was required, so you did it. Not because you felt like it, because you decided what kind of person you were gonna be. Nobody sees this moment. That's exactly why it matters. Don't lower the standard, hold it. Hold the standard! Guard the line! Stand! When comfort starts negotiating. Move! When excuses sound reasonable. Again. You don't need to be perfect. Just don't abandon what you know matters. Yeah. Now the standard isn't something written down, it's visible in your behavior. How you enter the room, how you handle pressure, how you respond to failure, how you treat your own promises. You don't need to renounce discipline, people can feel it, not because you're loud, because you're consistent. And consistency has a different presence. You became more selective with your commitments. You stopped promising what you couldn't sustain, started choosing fewer things and doing them properly. That made your life quieter but stronger. You learn that self-respect is built through evidence. Every time you keep your word, every time you correct yourself, every time you refuse the easy lie, you add another layer, and eventually the standard becomes automatic. Not because you became perfect, because lowering it starts feeling worse than maintaining it. Nobody is watching. Good. This one is yours. Hold the standard. Guard the line. Stand. When the easy option looks attractive, move. When nobody would know you chose differently. Again. Protect the person you're becoming. Don't lower the line just because the day got hard. Your standard isn't tested when everything is easy. It's revealed when nobody would blame you for lowering it.
You wanted results, you got resistance.
Good.
Now make the resistance useful.
You train hard and nothing seemed to change. You gave your time and watched the clock remain. Another failed attempt, another plan that collapsed, another goal that stayed out of reach. Frustration started living in your head. Every setback felt personal, every delay felt like rejection. But frustration was telling you something, you were expecting the reward too early. So you stopped demanding instant confirmation, stopped checking whether the work was paying off. You focused on execution, cleaner movement, sharper decisions, better preparation, less emotion, more control. The frustration didn't disappear, it changed purpose, it became pressure you could direct. Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt. Lock in, don't waste anger on what already happened. Move, turn disappointment into another adjustment again.
If it isn't working, don't complain, study it.
You stopped asking,
Why is this happening?
started asking,
What am I missing?
maybe the timing was wrong, maybe the method was weak, maybe your expectations were unrealistic, maybe you simply needed more repetitions. That question gave you something anger couldn't direction. You began tracking what actually mattered, what improved, what stalled, what needed changing. The process became colder, not emotionless, precise. You didn't need to feel inspired, you needed information. Failure provided it, plateaus provided it, bad sessions provided it. Every mistake became another measurement, and slowly your frustration became useful, because you weren't fighting the result anymore. You were improving the process that creates it.
Don't react,
Observe,
don't complain,
correct,
then go again.
Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt. Lock in. Every setback contains information. Move. Every mistake can sharpen your method. Again.
Don't let frustration control your actions, control it.
Now you don't fear slow progress. You understand that mastery is often invisible. The outside sees repetition. You see refinement, a slightly better decision. A cleaner execution, a stronger response, a smaller mistake. Those details compound. You became harder to frustrate. Not because everything works, because you stopped expecting everything to work. You can fail without losing direction. You can lose without losing composure. You can wait without becoming passive. You learn that patience isn't doing nothing, it's continuing without demanding immediate reward. And that mindset changed your relationship with difficulty. Resistance no longer means stop.
Sometimes it means adjust. Sometimes it means learn. Sometimes it means
Keep going.
you don't need every obstacle removed. You need to become better at reading them. Frustrated? Good. Don't react.
Adjust. Feel the frustration, use it. Feel the resistance, adapt. Lock in. Turn every setback into another lesson. Move. Turn every mistake into better execution. Again.
Don't let disappointment become your identity. Make it information. Make it progress. Make it fuel. Frustration didn't make you stronger. Learning how to use it did.
Nobody's asking you become perfect. Only to stop betraying the standard you chose. You know the difference between tired and careless, between need and recovery. It's such a foreign excuse. You felt both, you've used both, but something changed. You started watching your own decisions, not judging them, measuring them. Did you keep the promise? Did you finish the work? Did you choose what mattered over what felt easier? Those questions became uncomfortable because nobody else could answer them. You could blame the schedule, blame the mood, blame the circumstances, but you knew the truth, your standard was yours to protect. So you stopped demanding perfection, you demanded honesty. If you failed, admit it. If you needed rest, take it. If you were avoiding work, face it. No excuses, no performance, just accountability. Hold the standard, draw the line. Stand when nobody is watching. Move when nobody will know if you cut the corner again. The standard means nothing if it disappears when things get difficult. You started understanding that discipline isn't intense and it's reliability anyone can have. One perfect day, one perfect workout, one perfect week. But can you repeat the fundamentals when they're boring? Can you stay precise when you're tired? Can you keep your word when nobody checks? That's why identity forms, not during the highlight, during the repetition. You stopped trying to impress yourself, started trying to impress yourself. And trust came slowly, one promise kept, then another, until your own words started carrying weight. You didn't need external pressure anymore. Your standard was already waiting. You knew what was required, so you did it. Not because you felt like it, because you decided what kind of person you were gonna be. Nobody sees this moment. That's exactly why it matters. Don't lower the standard. Hold it. Hold the standard. Guard the line. Offer starts negotiating. Move. When excuses sound reasonable, You don't need to be perfect, just don't abandon what you know matters. Now the standard isn't something written down, it's visible in your behavior. How you enter the room, home, how you handle pressure, how you respond to how you treat your own promises. You don't need to announce discipline, people can feel it. Not because you're loud, because you're consistent. Inconsistency has a different presence. You became more selective with your commitments. You stopped promising what you couldn't sustain, started choosing fewer things and doing it properly. That made your life quieter but stronger. You learn that self-respect is built through evidence. Every time you keep your word, every time you correct yourself, every time you refuse the easy lie, you add another layer, and eventually the standard becomes automatic. Not because you became perfect, because lowering it starts feeling worse than maintaining it. The body is watching. Good. This one is yours. Easy option looks attractive. When nobody would know you chose differently. Protect the person you're becoming. Don't lower the line just because the day got hard. Your standard isn't tested. It's revealed when nobody would blame you for lowering.
You outgrew the room, but part of you still remembers how to fit inside it. You learn to live inside familiar limits. Same thoughts, same habits, same expectations. People around you got comfortable with the version they knew. So when you started changing, they questioned it. Why train so hard? Why work so much? Why take this seriously? They weren't always trying to hold you back. Some simply couldn't imagine a different version of you. But you could, and once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. The old routine started feeling too small. The old excuses started sounding embarrassing. The old environment couldn't satisfy the new standard. You were becoming arrogant, you were becoming incompatible with the person you used to be. And that realization felt lonely, but loneliness was better than pretending. Too small, move out, own limit, break through. Rise, don't shrink to make the room comfortable. Move, don't apologize for outgrowing your past again. If the old life can't hold you anymore, build a bigger one. Yeah, you started creating distance, not hatred, distance. Less time with what distracted you, less energy spent defending your choices, less attention given to voices that kept you uncertain. You learn that growth sometimes requires subtraction, removing noise, removing habits, removing environments, removing identities that no longer fit. It wasn't easy. Familiar things have gravity, they pull you back because they feel safe, but safety can become a ceiling. So you accepted the discomfort and change. You walked away without knowing exactly what came next. That required trust, not in the world, in yourself. You had survived being uncomfortable before you could survive becoming unfamiliar again. They remember who you were, let them. You don't need to become smaller for their comfort. Too small, move out, own limit, break through. Rise, stop returning to places you've already outgrown. Move, stop lowering yourself to fit old expectations again. Your next level will require a different room. Build it. Now you understand that outgrowing something doesn't make it worthless. It simply means it completed its purpose. The old routine taught you discipline. The old failures taught you awareness. The old limitations showed you what needed changing. You don't have to hate where you came from. You just can't live there forever. Your standards are different, your priorities are different. Your tolerance for distraction is different, and that changes what you accept. You became careful about what gets access to your attention, because attention isn't unlimited. Every hour spent in the wrong place is an hour unavailable for the right one. So you protect it. You choose environments that challenge you, people who sharpen you, goals that demand more from you. Not because you're running from your past, because you're building beyond it. This room is too small, don't complain. Leave. Build bigger, too small, move out. Old limit, break through, rise. Don't return just because it's familiar. Move. Don't shrink just because they remember the old you. Again. You outgrew the room, now outgrow the ceiling. You weren't meant to spend your whole life proving you could survive inside the same room. Eventually, you have to build one large enough for who you're becoming.
Your goals aren't competing with other people. They're competing with everything trying to steal your attention.
You sat down to work, then checked your phone. One message, one video, one notification. 5 minutes became 30, and the task was still waiting. You weren't incapable, you were scattered. Your attention was being sold, one interruption at a time. So you changed the environment. Phone away, door closed, noise removed. One task, one target, one block of time. At first it felt uncomfortable. Your mind wanted stimulation, wanted movement, wanted something new. But you stayed, and slowly your attention became stronger. You discovered something. Focus isn't something you simply have, it's something you protect.
Cut the noise, lock in, drop the distraction. Focus. Work, cut the noise, lock in, drop the distraction. Focus. Work.
Everything doesn't deserve your attention.
Move. Protect the hours that build your future. Again.
Your attention is your ammunition. Stop wasting it.
You started noticing how often you escaped a difficult paragraph, a hard exercise, a boring task, a slow result. The moment resistance appeared, your hand reached for something easier that became the real battle. Not the workload, the impulse to leave it. So you trained your ability to remain 5 minutes longer than 10, then 20. Not chasing some perfect state of concentration, just staying with the task. You learned to tolerate boredom because boredom wasn't an emergency. You learned to tolerate silence because silence wasn't emptiness. You learned to tolerate the discomfort of thinking, and that changed the quality of your work. Your mind became less reactive. Your decisions became cleaner. Your output became deeper.
Close the apps, put the phone down. You know what matters.
Now give it your full attention. Cut the noise, lock in, drop the distraction. Focus. Work. Cut the noise. Cut the noise, lock in, drop the distraction. Focus. Work.
Don't let a notification interrupt the future you're building.
Move.
Stay with the difficult thing. Focus isn't found, it's defended.
Now you don't need perfect silence. You can work through ordinary noise because the real change happened internally. You learn to choose where your attention goes. Not every message needs an answer. Not every opinion needs a reaction. Not every opportunity deserves your time. That understanding made you selective. You stopped saying yes to everything because every yes spends attention, and attention cannot be refunded. Your goals became clearer, your schedule became cleaner, your mind became quieter. You started finishing what you started, not because you discovered more hours, because you stopped leaking the hours you already had.
That's focus.
Not staring at a task while thinking about everything else.
It's deciding what deserves you and giving it what it requires. No phone, no noise, no escape. Stay here.
Cut the noise, lock in, pop the distraction. Focus. Work, cut the noise, lock in, pop the distraction. Focus.
Every minute protected becomes another brick.
Move.
Every distraction rejected keeps you moving forward.
Again.
Nobody is coming to protect your attention. You have to lock in, stay there, finish.
Your future isn't only built
By what you accomplish. It's also built by everything you decide isn't worth your attention. The dangerous excuses are ridiculous. They're the ones that almost make sense.
You don't always hear give up. Sometimes it's quiet, start tomorrow. Skip just this once. You've been working hard, you deserve a break. Nothing sounds wrong.
That's the problem.
The mind doesn't always attack with chaos. Sometimes it negotiates with logic. It gives you reasons that feel responsible. And if you're tired enough, you'll believe them. So you started studying your own patterns. When does the excuse appear?
What usually triggers it?
What feeling comes first? Fatigue, frustration, boredom. You stop treating every thought as truth. A thought is only a thought, an urge is only a nerve. Neither gets to decide what happens next. That's separation.
Change your discipline.
Sounds logical, still move, feels reasonable, still check, think. Not every comfortable choice is the right one. Move, question the voice that always wants less. Again.
If the excuse sounds perfect, look closer.
You learn that discipline isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's simply not making the wrong decision. No argument, no emotional battle, just no.
You don't need to hate temptation.
You need to stop giving it authority. The old pattern work because you responded automatically. Trigger, thought, action, repeat. So you inserted a pause. Trigger, thought, pause. Decision that tiny space gave you control. You didn't become a different human overnight. You became more aware, and awareness created choice. You started preparing for predictable weakness. You made the good decision before the bad moment arrived.
That's strategy, not willpower. You hear the excuse, don't answer immediately. Pause, ask yourself,
where does this lead? Sounds logical, still move, feels reasonable, still check, think. Don't let temporary comfort write permanent consequences. Move, interrupt the pattern. Again.
you don't need more motivation. You need better decisions.
Now you recognize the voice immediately. It still appears, it still sounds convincing, but it doesn't surprise you. You know its favorite arguments. You know when it gets louder. You know what happens when you listen. That knowledge changed the game. You stop fighting your mind all day. You simply stop obeying every impulse. You can feel tired and still choose correctly. Feel bored and stay focused. Feel frustrated and remain composed. Feel doubt and continue. That's control, not suppressing emotion. Directing behavior despite emotion. And the more often you make that choice,
The less power the excuse has. Not because it disappears, because you stop feeding it. The voice can speak. Your decision speaks louder. Sounds reasonable. Pause. Think. Choose.
sounds logical, still move, feels reasonable, still check, think, question the easy answer, move, choose the action that protects your future. Again.
The excuse doesn't need to disappear. You just need to stop obeying it. The hardest excuses were never the ones that sounded weak. They were the ones that sounded intelligent while quietly keeping you exactly where you were.
You don't need another beginning. You need to stop giving yourself a way out. You kept leaving, one foot outside the door, just in case it failed, just in case it hurt, just in case the effort wasn't worth the result. You called it caution, but deep down you knew what it was. A backup plan for your own doubt. Every goal had conditions. I'll do it if things improve. I'll continue if I see results. I'll push harder when motivation returns. You were always waiting for certainty. Then you realized certainty wasn't coming. So you stopped protecting yourself from disappointment and started giving the mission everything. No dramatic speech, no announcement, just commitment. You either wanted it or you didn't. There was no room for half measures anymore. No half measures, commit. No backdoor move. Lock in. Stop saving energy for an imaginary escape. Push. Give the moment what it actually requires. Again. If you're gonna build it completely. You learn that commitment doesn't mean being reckless. It means removing the constant negotiation. You decide, then you execute. The goal doesn't change because today feels difficult. The schedule doesn't disappear because motivation is low. The standard doesn't collapse because nobody is watching. You stop reopening decisions you'd already made. That saved energy instead of asking whether you should continue. You asked what the next move was. One task, one rep, one page, 1 hour, one correction. The future became simpler, not easier, simpler. You didn't need to solve everything. You only needed to stop stepping backward. No backup plan, no second version, no escape route. You chose this. Now execute. No half measure, commit. No backdoor move. Lock in. Stop waiting for perfect certainty. Push. Stop protecting the version of you that wants to quit again. Close the door, face forward, keep building. Now you understand that commitment isn't a feeling, it's a structure. You build routines that made the right action easier to repeat. You remove decisions that wasted energy. You prepared before pressure arrived, and when doubt appeared, you didn't panic. Doubt can exist, commitment can't exist beside it. You can question the method without abandoning the mission. You can change direction without becoming the person who quits. That's the difference. Commitment isn't blind, this is clarity. Knowing what matters enough to receive your best effort. And when something matters, you stop giving it whatever remains. You give it priority. You protect this time, you accept this cost. You let the process change you. That's when progress stops being accidental. It becomes inevitable through repetition. You chose. No more debate, no more delay. Execute. No half measures, commit. No backdoor move. Lock in. You don't need another promise. You need another completed action. Again. Close every escape route. Not because failure is impossible, because quitting is no longer your first response. The moment you stop keeping one foot outside, you finally gave yourself enough room to become everything you were capable of. Pressure doesn't create who you are. It removes what was hiding it. When everything is easy, anyone can look composed, anyone can talk about discipline, talk about courage, talk about control. Then pressure arrives, plans collapse, time disappears, expectations rise, and suddenly the real version steps forward. You discovered yours the hard way. Your hands shook, your thoughts raced, your confidence disappeared, but you stayed. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, you stayed.
And that mattered because courage wasn't the absence of panic. It was continuing while panic was present. You started learning how you react under weight, where you rush, where you hesitate, where you overthink, where you want to escape. Every pressure point reveals something, and everything revealed could be trained. Pressure rises, stay ready, heat comes, hold your ground, breathe. Don't let urgency control your hands, move. Don't let fear choose your next decision. Again. Pressure isn't your enemy, it is the test. Yeah, you stopped trying to eliminate pressure that was impossible. Instead, you trained your response, slow the breath, clear the thought, separate facts from panic, find the next action and execute. You learn that chaos wants your attention, it wants you reacting to everything, so you became selective. One problem, one decision, one movement at a time. You didn't need to solve the entire situation in 1 second. You needed to stop making it worse. That became your advantage. While others rushed, you slowed down. While others panicked, you observed. While others reacted, you chose. Not because you felt superior, because you had practice staying present. Pressure rises, stay ready, heat comes, hold your ground, breathe. Keep your mind inside the moment, move. One decision at a time. Again, the pressure can rise. The pressure can rise. Your control rises with it. Now you understand why difficult situations changed you. They showed you where you were fragile and gave you something specific to strengthen. You became better at handling uncertainty, better at waiting, better at making decisions without perfect information, better at accepting what you couldn't control and acting on what you could. That's maturity. Not becoming unaffected, becoming responsive instead of reactive. Pressure still arises, but it doesn't surprise you. You know what to do. Breathe. Observe, decide, execute, repeat. This situation may remain difficult, but you no longer add unnecessary chaos to it. That's strength, not being unbreakable, being able to bend without losing direction. Feel the pressure, don't rush. Breathe. Now decide. Pressure rises, stay ready, heat comes, hold your ground, breathe. When everything speeds up, boom, become the calm inside the chaos again. Pressure doesn't define you, your response does. Stay composed, stay precise, stay moving. Pressure didn't show you who you wanted to be. It showed you what's still needed to be built. You thought you found your limit. You had only found the edge of your current ability. There was a point where everything felt heavy. The weight, the distance, the effort. Your body gave you every reason to stop, and your mind agreed with it. You thought, this is where I end. But limits are strange. Some are real, some are temporary, some are simply unfamiliar. Yeah, you learn the difference through repetition. The first attempt felt impossible, the 10th felt difficult, the 100th felt normal. Not because the task changed, because you did. Your capacity expanded quietly. No dramatic moment, just adaptation. You recovered, returned, adjusted, repeated, and one day something that once stopped you barely slowed you down. Move the line, go further. Feel the edge. Push, move the line, go further. Feel the edge. Press, push. Don't confuse today's capacity with tomorrow's rise. That's what you built. Again, your limit isn't where discomfort begins, it's where adaptation stops. You stopped chasing pain for the sake of pain, started chasing capacity, better technique, better breathing, better recovery, better control. You realize that progress isn't always doing more. Sometimes it's doing the same thing better, more efficiently, with less wasted movement, with greater precision. You began respecting the process, because forcing everything only creates fatigue. Intelligent pressure creates adaptation, so you became patient. You gave your body time to respond, gave your mind time to adjust and raise the demand. Little by little the line moved, not because you destroyed yourself, because you trained your ability to handle more. Find the Don't worship it, study it, then move it.
Move the line, go further. Feel the edge, press, push. Move the line, go further. Feel the edge, press, push.
One more controlled step,
Drive
one more level of precision.
again.
Don't chase exhaustion, chase expansion. Now you look back at old limits and realize how temporary they were. You once struggled with what now feels ordinary. That doesn't mean you became limitless. It means you adapted, and adaptation can continue. You can become stronger, faster, more efficient, more composed. Not endlessly, but repeatedly. Every stage reveals another edge. That's the nature of growth. You don't destroy the limit, you move beyond it. Then discover another and another. The goal isn't to reach some final version. The goal is to remain capable of development. To stay teachable, to stay hungry, to stay willing to become unfamiliar with what once felt impossible. Your previous ceiling becomes your new floor, and tomorrow you build again. Where's the edge? There. Don't fear it.
move it. Move the line, go further. Feel the edge, press, push. Move the line, go further. Feel the edge, press, push.
Your old limit doesn't own you anymore.
Drive
Raise the capacity.
again.
Adapt. Expand. Repeat. Until yesterday's impossible becomes today's standard. Your limits didn't disappear. You simply became too strong to keep living inside the old ones. You spend years trying to prove yourself. Then you realized you were the only one watching. You wanted them, yeah. You wanted them to see what you could become. Wanted every doubter to watch you overcome. Every insult became another reason. Every rejection another piece of fuel. You train with anger running through your chest, trying to make your progress answer every disrespect. But chasing their approval kept you tied to them. Their opinion still controlled your head. So you stopped performing for people who weren't there. Stop measuring your worth through someone else's stare. The goal became quieter, the work became cleaner. No need to announce every step you were taking. No need to show every sacrifice you made. You started building without needing witnesses, and something strange happened. The less you needed approval, the harder you became to shape. No proof needed, no praise required. Move. Let your actions speak without permission. You don't need their attention anymore. Stop trying to prove who you are. Become it. There was a time you needed someone to notice. Needed every achievement to feel important. One compliment could lift your entire day. One criticism could take it away. That wasn't confidence, that was dependence. So you started separating your worth from reaction. Learning to work without immediate satisfaction. Some days nobody noticed the progress. Some days you didn't notice it either. Still you continue because the standard was no longer external. You didn't need someone cheering, you didn't need someone doubting. You simply needed to finish what you started. That made the process different. The gym became your laboratory. Failure became information. Repetition became evidence. And every difficult session gave you another reason to trust yourself. Not because someone said you were capable, because you had watched yourself do difficult things. Let them doubt. Let them misunderstand. You don't have to correct everyone. Keep working. No proof needed. No praise required. Move. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Let consistency be louder than words. Again. No speeches, no validation. Just results you can feel inside. Now your confidence doesn't need an audience. You can lose without feeling worthless. You can fail without becoming smaller. You can be ignored without losing direction, because your standard is somewhere deeper now. You know what you train, you know what you sacrifice. You know which mornings you refuse to waste. That knowledge belongs only to you. person who lived them. You became less interested in looking powerful, more interested in actually being capable, less interested in winning arguments, more interested in winning your own discipline. And that's when the need to prove disappeared. You stopped chasing revenge, stopped chasing recognition, stopped chasing permission. You started chasing mastery. That's a different kind of hunger. It doesn't need an audience, it doesn't need applause. It simply keeps going. Nobody believes you? Good. You don't need belief. You need execution again. No proof needed, no praise required. Let them remember who you used to be. Work, you don't need to change their opinion again. Keep building, keep refining, keep becoming until proving yourself is no longer necessary. You spent so long trying to prove them wrong until you became too focused on becoming right for yourself. Walk through the fire. Don't wait for the road to get easier. Learn how to become harder to stop. Stop. Sun going down on another long day. Dust on my shoes, still I came this way. Had a pocket full of problems and a head full of plans. Learned to build something solid with whatever was in my hands. I know what it means when the fridge gets quiet, when the phone keeps ringing and you don't want to fight it, when everybody needs something from you at once. And you gotta stay composed when you're coming undone. That's when I stop waiting for the perfect moment that ain't one. You take what you got, you make it count. You turn another bad hand into another reason to become dangerous with your potential. I ain't talking violence, I'm talking hunger, the kind that makes you study after midnight, work when you're tired, and keep your promise when nobody would know if you broke it. Walk through the fire, don't let it change your soul. Take the heat, take the lesson, take control. Walk through the fire, let the whole night know. You weren't built for easy roads, you were built to grow. Walk through the walk through the fire. I seen a young kid with more courage than 10 grown men. No money in his pocket, still talking about the future like it belonged to him. That's the mindset, not pretending life is easy, knowing it ain't, and moving anyway. I don't romanticize struggle, pain is pain. Losing somebody hurts, being broke hurts, watching your people suffer hurts. But I refuse to let those things be the final sentence. Take the anger, turn it into discipline. Take the disappointment, turn it into standards. Take the years you wasted and make the next ones count twice. That's how you reclaim your life. Walk through the fire, don't let it change your soul. Take the heat, take the lesson, take control. Walk through the fire, let the whole night know. You weren't built for easy road, you were built to grow. No. Walk through the fire. No spotlight, just another step. I used to think being strong and never showing the cracks. Now I know better. Strength is knowing you're hurting and still handling what needs to be handled. It's calling your brother when your pride says don't. It's walking away from the fight because your future matters more. It's choosing the long game when everybody around you wants something right now. That's grown man's strength. That's street wisdom. You don't need to be feared, be respected. You don't need everybody behind you, know who is. And when the road gets lonely, remember why you started, because the person you're becoming is counting on the person you are today. Don't disappoint him. Walk through the fire, don't let it change your soul. Take the heat, take the lesson, take control. You don't need an easy life. You need a reason to keep moving.
Stay hungry. The world gets comfortable when you stop chasing more. So keep moving. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Corner store lights on a Friday night. Old heads posted up, talking life under the light. Young blood dreaming with a head full of plans, trying to turn little opportunities into something that lasts. I learned you can't build a future with yesterday's excuses. Had to cut loose habits that kept pulling me backwards. Had to stop confusing being busy with actually moving forward. I know what hunger feels like, not just in your stomach. That hunger when you look at your life and know there's another level waiting. That's the hunger I protect. That's the hunger I protect. Stay hungry. Don't let the comfort take your fire. Keep your feet on the pavement. Keep your eyes a little higher. Stay hungry. When the easy road calls your name, you didn't come this far just to stay the same. I seen a man with nothing still give his last to a friend. Seen another with everything still afraid that it might end. That's when I understood the difference. Wealth ain't always what's sitting in your hands. Sometimes it's having people who would answer when the whole world doesn't. Sometimes it's waking up with another shot at the mission. Sometimes it's knowing you haven't reached your ceiling. So I don't measure myself by another man's timeline. His chapter ain't mine, his road ain't mine. I got my own miles to put behind me. Don't chase the noise. Chase the standard. Stay hungry. There were days I wanted proof before I put in the work, wanted the result before accepting the sacrifice. Life doesn't work like that. You plan first, you water in the dark. You keep showing up while the ground looks exactly the same. Then one morning, something breaks through. That's the part nobody can fake. The hunger, the patience, the years behind the moment. So if you're listening from a room where nobody believes in you, good, build anyway. Let doubt watch you become everything it underestimated. Made it. Stay hungry.
Don't let the comfort take your fire.
Keep your feet on the pavement.
Keep your eyes a little higher.
Stay hungry.
When the easy road calls your name,
You didn't come this far
just to stay the same.
Keep the hunger until the dream becomes ordinary. Don't let the night win. There were nights built to break you, and nights that taught you how to fight. Don't let the night win. Don't let the night win. Yeah. 2 a.m. Headlights cutting through the rain. No thoughts, riding shotgun, talking about the pain
win. I know that feeling when the future looks thin. When you're fighting outside and fighting within. I had days when the Rick felt bigger than the check. Days when one bad choice could put your whole life in wreck. Saw brothers chase a quick dollar, lose years in the flash. Saw good hearts get buried underneath the pressure and cash. But I learned from every face I watched disappear. You can't build a life while letting fear steer. So I started taking control of the little things first. Wake up, handle business, keep my word, protect my peace. No grand speech, just another day refusing to become another story about wasted potential.
Don't let the night win.
Morning's coming through,
You might feel surrounded.
but there's still work left in you.
Don't let the night win.
You keep your hands on the wheel,
Some wounds take years to close.
but that doesn't mean
They can't heal.
I stopped asking why the road had to be this hard. Started asking what the hard road was trying to teach me. Patience when money got tight, discipline when nobody checked, loyalty when walking away would have been easier. Pride without needing to prove it, that's a different kind of strength. You don't need to become cold just because life got cold. Keep your heart, keep your standards. Keep that little piece of yourself that still believes tomorrow can be better. That's the part worth protecting. Paint on the windshield, your city in the rear view. Keep driving, drive.
Don't let the night win.
I know the temptation to look at your life and call it finished. Don't. A bad chapter ain't a bad book. A rough year ain't a ruined life. And the place you started doesn't get to name the place you finished. Maybe you lost years, maybe you lost people, maybe you lost yourself for a little while. Take the lesson, leave the shame. You still got breath in your lungs, that means there's still something you can build. So tomorrow morning, don't promise the world anything, just get up. Handle the first thing, then the next, and the next. That's how you turn a life around. Not with one miracle, with 1,000 small decisions that finally point in the same direction.
Don't let the night win.
morning's coming through,
You might feel surrounded.
but there's still work left in you.
Don't let the night win.
Keep your hands on the wheel,
Some wounds take years to close.
but that doesn't mean
They can't heal.
Do some